Welcome to the video for Lesson 6, Rock Strata Formation Continued. So in this, I'm going to show you what you should be doing with the notes that you've already written about rock strata formation. And just as a reminder, as far as what you should have already done with your Rock Strata My Journey, your creative writing assignment, you've got your stuff all written here. Just wanted to remind you real quick before we talk about this, I want to remind you what you should do with your creative writing assignment here. So let's pretend that this was my creative writing assignment. It isn't, it's just a random piece of text. But one thing that's going to be very important for you is make sure that you go through your creative writing assignment and you actually highlight or underline the steps of the process. So let's pretend that this is my creative writing assignment. And let's say that this is where I was talking about step 1 and step 2, where there was the formation of rock into sediments. It was being worn down. So I would label that 1, or I might label that 2. Okay, so I need to highlight or circle that. So let's pretend that this over here was my step 2. Okay, I would need to circle that, and again I would need to number it as well. Okay, so make sure you've done that in your creative writing assignment, so whenever I look at it or somebody, a peer looks at it, they're able to tell where your steps are, all 5 of them. Okay, anyway, enough about that. I wanted to show you what to do now with your notes. So one thing you need to do with your notes is you need to, in this area here, you need to write questions. You need to write one question for each step of the process. So let's look at this first one here. If I'm looking at these notes, I read here that one of the first steps of rock strata formation is water, wind, ice, or other things break down rocks, shells, or other hard materials. So I might ask a question over here that might sound something like this. It might say, what are some things that break down rocks and shells? Okay, now the answer to that question could be found right here in the notes, right? Water, wind, and ice. So for each of these, you need to write a question right across from it. So let's look at step 2. Sediment forms sand, mud, rock debris, or shell fragments. So a question I could ask here is, what are rock fragments or rock debris, sand, or mud called? And the answer to that would be sediments. So your questions here should relate to your steps here. Okay, so you want to go through, write a question for step 3, question for step 4, question for step 5. After you've done that, here at the bottom, you are going to want to write a summary of your notes here, and it should be 3 to 5 sentences. So 3 to 5 sentences summarizing your notes. I don't want you to copy everything up here. I want you just to do 3 to 5 sentences down here, and that is going to be it. Reason I have you interact with your notebook so much is because with this, if you take good notes and you work with it well, there will be times where I may allow you a little bit of time to use it on, say, like a test or, say, like a quiz for a short period of time. All right, so there you go. Thanks.